First guest tonight is host of Watch What Happens Live, as well as a best-selling author, housewife, herder, and the intoxicated Ryan Seacrest of New Year's Eve. On Friday, he gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Please welcome Andy Cohen.
You got a deep chair here.
That's right. We go deep here. We
Yes, you do.
You know, we don't...
Deep and shallow.
That's right.
Yes.
Happy Groundhog Day. Is this a
holiday? Is it a happy Groundhog Day?
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you and Anderson Cooper get drunk and celebrate this, too.
Yes.
Yes?
Absolutely.
Last time I saw you was...
that was the last time I saw you. It was the eve of COVID.
It was right.
We were taping Celebrity Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Correct.
In Los Angeles.
Correct.
Anderson and Cooper and I were the guests. As it turns out, hilariously, I must have had COVID at the time.
You had COVID. Yeah.
And I didn't infect you or Anderson, which is incredible. I did go back to New York and then, came down with it.
We were being careful.
It was like March 2020.
With the masks, but you and Anderson flew home together, so it's kind of miraculous that he didn't wind up getting COVID.
Oh, my God.
You got sick, right?
I did.
Yeah, I mean, it's not funny, but it was...
It's not.
You were one of
but it's funny now because I was all over him like a cheap suit. I mean, not in like a sexual way, but I just like a buddy way. And it is amazing that I did not get him sick.
Did you ever figure out?
Had I gotten him sick?
Oh, yeah.
I would still be paying.
It would have been bad,
There were
right?
a few times where I thought like my son got his son sick a few times. And you'd be like, Wyatt has the sniffles. Does Ben, I'm like, if my kid gets his kid sick, I'm in the doghouse, Ben. Yeah.
That night, your phone-a-friend, his phone-a-friend was Kelly Ripa.
Yes.
Who I think did well, right?
Yes,
she gave the right answer.
She did.
Yours was Dan Rather.
Yes, it was. And an iconic phone-a-friend, and I didn't even get to use it.
You didn't even get to use Dan Rather.
It was terrible, and he would have known the question that I got out on.
How do you know Dan Rather?
I worked at CBS News for 10 years. I was a producer at CBS News for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And I knew him then. I was a little pisher. And the crazy thing is, all these years later, I have a radio channel on Sirius called Radio Andy, and Dan has done a show graciously on my little radio channel called Dan Rather's America. So it's a wild full circle thing for me. I look up to him so much.
When I think of your brands, there's a real intersection there between Dan Rather and Andy Cohen.
Absolutely. It's obvious. I'm the Dan Rather of Bravo, am I not?
Did you ever tell him that the game was over? I mean, he may still be waiting by the phone.
He might be, actually.
Yeah.
No, I did, and as a matter of fact, I asked him the question.
Okay.
I think on the radio, and asked him if he would have known it, and of course, he did know it.
There was a moment on that show that I've got you and Anderson Cooper, and you were each other's partner, helping each other. And what the question was, and there are multiple choice questions, the question was, who was the last person to host the Oscars?
Yes, that was a question. That was my question.
Well, 4 people. I think Seth MacFarlane was one of the choices.
Chris Rock, you, and Neil Patrick Harris.
Chris Rock, me, and Neil Patrick Harris. Now, the answer was, I thought, quite clearly me. I'm sitting there with 2 gay men, and neither of them knows who hosted the Oscars. And I have to tell you something. It really hit me hard. It hit me real hard.
It was embarrassing. I used my Ask the Host for that. You got it right.
Yeah, I got it right. Yeah, I knew it was me.
By the way, and I'm so glad you brought it up, it is so clearly obvious that you're going to host the Oscars this year, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
For real?
Oh, for real,
Absolutely not. You're saying right now you are absolutely not hosting
I am absolutely not hosting the Oscars. Wow. Are you hosting the Oscars?
No. Yeah, I'm hosting the Oscars.
You can host the Oscars.
Yeah.
I would love to see you and Anderson host the Oscars.
That would be fun.
I was laughing my ass off watching you guys doing that. I swear to God.
We had so much fun. I told our friend Howard Stern, I was like, you know what? We had a blast on New Year's Eve.
It seemed like you guys had fun.
I hope everyone did watching.
I wish everyone, honestly, I wish everyone on CNN was drunk all the
I
time.
know. It would be great. I got to tell you something.
What?
It is super fun getting smashed on CNN and just raging on a soapbox. There were endorphins that I was releasing. I was like, this is good.
Yeah, it's one of the few times you go like, oh, something dangerous is maybe happening on TV.
I know. We got in the car after, and I saw on Twitter the rant that I did about de Blasio, and I did not recall, though it was about 40 minutes earlier, saying sayonara sucka
It was
to the
funny.
outgoing mayor of New York. And I go, oh my God. And Anderson said, what? I go, I said sayonara sucka. He goes, yes, you did.
I was watching in a house with a group of people, and they weren't paying attention. I was. I'm like, guys, be quiet. I had to rewind it to show
good.
them what had just occurred.
Okay, good.
Yeah, well,
I
that
hope
was
it
good.
played for your fancy friends.
Well, well, they weren't that fancy.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, they
All
were
right.
semi-fancy.
Okay.
You wouldn't be impressed. Let's put it that way.
All right.
So you're here, speaking of fancy,
Yes.
because you're getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I am. I do know where. It's down by Hollywood and Cherokee.
Okay.
It's right in front of World of Wonder, which is a production company that I work with all the time.
Oh.
And I'm right by RuPaul and the Go-Go's,
Oh,
which
that's
I
good.
think is a happening
Good
little
neighborhood.
area. Two people that I love. I mean, I love the Go-Go's, one of my first concerts, and love Ru forever. So I'm thrilled about that.
They told you that you looked it up, you checked it out?
I checked out where it was.
I see.
Yeah.
Would you have complained and asked for a different spot if you
I
didn't
don't
like
know
it?
that I would have the power to do that, but I was thrilled.
Yeah.
And my family is so excited. They're all here. We all got
Who's
here
here?
today from St. Louis. My son, my parents, my sister, brother-in-law,
Oh, great.
niece, the
Wow.
whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
How
the
old are your
mishpacha.
parents?
My parents, my mom is turning 85 in a week.
Oh.
And my dad is turning 90, thank you, in November. And we're gonna have, and my son is turning 3 on the day I get the star. So we're having a joint birthday party for my mom, 85, and my son, 3.
We're going to take a break. Andy Cohen is here. We'll be right back. Andy Cohen is here. Watch What Happens Live is on Bravo. Sunday through Thursday. You're still enjoying doing that, Joe?
I love it. We just got picked up for 2 more years.
2 more
And
years.
we're in year 13 right now. You just had a big anniversary.
We did. We had our 19th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Last week. Yeah, thank you. It goes by like that, though, right?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. And you, at the ceremony your parents are going to be at, will there be Real Housewives in
There
attendance?
will,
at this?
yes.
Yeah.
There'll be Real Housewives in attendance. We have Garcelle Beauvais and Lisa Rinna will be speaking on behalf of the, I think, 130 housewives at this point who've come and gone. And
Wow.
John Mayer will be speaking.
John Mayer is
Yes,
going to
that's
speak.
very
So you're a good
exciting.
friend.
Yes.
Have you spoken to him about what he's going to say?
No.
No.
I have not. He said to me today, he goes, so is it like a trip? I said, I don't know. I haven't watched any footage.
Well, I'll tell you
of
what it's
other
like if
speeches.
you want to
Yes.
know what it's like.
Tell me. Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay.
So what time is it happening at?
11:30 in the morning.
All right, so first of
It's
all,
like,
if you're a fan of Andy's, go, because Andy's going to be surrounded by people dressed as Spider-Man. I mean,
Okay.
that's going to
Yes,
be a lot
yes.
of it,
Okay.
okay?
All right. I
It's
got
going to
no
be a
problem
little
with that.
rough out there. There are going to
Okay.
be people who have no idea what's going on.
Yes.
And they're going to be staring at you.
I'm used to that.
It's going to be broad daylight.
Yes.
You'll be poorly mic'd.
Okay.
There will be a lot of pictures taken.
Okay.
There's a guy named Laurent Gubler who'll be there, and you're going to have
Oh.
to not laugh at his name.
Okay. The prestigious.
Laurent
Yes.
Gubler.
Okay.
And then you're going to make a speech, and like almost nobody will be able to hear it,
Wow.
but your parents will probably shed a tear.
Okay. Will they be able to hear it?
No, not at all.
Really? So
Yeah.
the people sitting on the dais won't be able to hear any of the speeches?
Oh, nobody will hear anything.
Oh,
it's really just, look at it this way. At the end of it, you'll have a star.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're setting my expectations.
Exactly. I'm
beautifully.
setting
Okay,
your
good.
expectations here.
Okay, good.
Because you feel like it's going to be like, winning
Yeah.
an Oscar or something like that.
Yes.
And really, it's like going down the street for a shake.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like that,
All
okay?
right. I
you know
gotta
what I'm
go.
saying.
I'm going back to New York.
But you're still getting the thing.
Yes, okay, good.
Yeah, you picked a good week, too, because it's freezing cold in New York, right?
That's true, yes. We had a gorgeous snowstorm last week, a bomb cyclone.
Yeah, the bomb cyclone,
Yes,
right.
which is a term that didn't exist, of course, about a year and a half ago, but now everything is a bomb cyclone.
It makes you wonder who the Weather Channel's like competing with, that they have to start naming things like their movies.
I know,
something.
it's an exciting name. I mean, really just batten down the hatches.
The bomb cyclone, there were no explosions in your apartment
There
or anything
weren't.
like that?
It was exciting. We had a great time during the bomb cyclone.
I wanted to mention one more thing, because this is something that you and I occasionally, we have a little inside joke that we will trade back and forth via text.
Kevlar vest?
About the vests, yes. So as we mentioned when we were shooting Who Wants to Be Millionaires before COVID started, right? I mean, it was like really like that. We didn't even think to like shut down, right, at the time. And Anderson Cooper comes in. He's playing for a charity, which I assume is a great charity. But they give Kevlar vests to dogs that rush into, I don't know, gang fights or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics, but I do know that he raised $500,000.
He won $500,000 on the show.
Which is a tremendous amount of Kevlar vests,
A lot
I would
of vests,
imagine.
yeah.
The hilarity is, and I don't know if I texted you about this, a few months ago, I said, hey, what are you doing? Do you want to hang out? He goes, no, I'm actually on my way down to host a charity event for the Kevlar vest people. And I said, A, haven't you done enough? And B, don't they have enough vests? Like, honestly.
No, nothing, again, we're not making fun of this charity.
It's a wonderful thing.
But it was funny because then that episode aired like 4 months later in the middle of COVID, and these doctors and nurses and teachers and rescue workers and all of these people, everyone's doing charity benefit, and Anderson's sitting there and they're like, what's the most important thing in the world to you right now, Anderson?
He was like, should I tweet out a disclaimer that we taped this a few months ago? Like, he was conscious. He knew that it was the healthcare heroes.
Congratulations on your star on the Walk
thanks.
of Fame.
You just totally did.
Well, listen, the ceremony's
now.
not great, but the honor itself, and you just think forever you'll be able to come back.
Yes.
And you'll say, you see where that man is urinating? That's my star. Andy Cohen, everybody. Watch What Happens Live Sunday through Thursday on Bravo. We'll be back with Slash. Thanks for watching. Remember, every time you click the subscribe button, one of your enemies gets destroyed.